All right, so I've tried to record this a few times, and I've never been happy with it because I always ramble and it always is too long. So this is meant to be a pretty short video, and it's inevitably going to be like 8 or 9 minutes, and I'm sorry. Um, so the thing that I want to address is that a lot of players who are, um, like floor 8 through lower VIP, like these kind of intermediate players, they have a sense of the game. They know that plus frames are good. They know that minus frames are bad. They like know some stuff about the game. They know some setups. They know some mix-ups. They know what their best, like usually they know what their character's best mix-up is, and so they just do that, right? Like a lot of Giovannas will be like, I tick throw on my close slash, and then they never do any other place. And the problem with that is not that like that mix-up isn't good. It's obviously very good. It is actually their best mix-up. Most of those players know that. The problem is that they're only trying to do it at one place. And so because of that, it's a lot easier for the opponent to see a pattern, and also there's a lot less variability in how you can mix something up. And so you have a lot less ways you can mess with someone for like laying down a fake pattern and that sort of stuff. And so, like, I want to talk first about bad mix-ups, right? Mix-ups that are on paper trash. And that stuff like 6p run throw, right? 6p run throw, it's -8, right? That is punishable. Surely this is a terrible place to throw, right? Well, not really. Mostly because if they do not attack, like let's say they just do this, can they react to that? Like, can they react to that? Like, really? Maybe Punk can. Some of the really reaction-heavy players can, but not many players are ever going to react to that. So, that's a perfectly fine place to throw. Now, let's talk about what else it needs to be a good place to throw. Let's say they do attack, right? Because like I'm never going to throw them if they do that. Like, well, I'm never going to throw them here if they're attacking because there's a button there. So what do? Well, I can beat the button. So good enough, right? I can beat their way. I can beat every way that they can defend. I can beat every single place that they can do to defend the throw. And just to show you all of the different options that they will use to defend, all of them can be beaten. Now, obviously, let's say that they just do nothing. Oh, I didn't have it do... Oh, whatever, it does. If I just do nothing, obviously at this range, guys are getting punished. It's -11. A lot of characters can punish at this range. So, obviously, it's still not good, but it does have the ability to back stuff up. Now, I will admit that I slightly lied to you when I said that it beats backdash. So if I do it immediately, it doesn't beat backdash. And if I do it a little bit late, it doesn't beat jump. So I have to know which option they're going to do in order to do that. But realistically, until they see a throw there, who is honestly going to be trying to backdash after they block a 6p? Like, unless they know that that's a place that you throw, they're not even going to try it. But once they start to try it, then you have another place that that they're taking a guess, and then if they are ever predictable, then you can start calling it out. Now, obviously, they have more options than the ones I showed. They can wait and then jump. Right? They can do a fuzzied option. They can do a wait and then button and still beat it. And so, like, if I have, instead of jump, I do custom 1, and then I record. I have them... Is it going to... Right? I have them just do something a little bit late, and then I press the record button to stop. Okay. And then I have them do that, right, where it's a little bit later. Right? I'm not going to run and throw them, but similarly... Well... Okay, well, they were just standing there not blocking, so... Obviously, that gets hit, but... that's really... I got really weirded out by my game kind of pseudo-crashing there. It didn't crash, but, like, you saw it, right? Regardless. So, all of those sort of things... So long as you can beat their defensive options, it doesn't matter. So, why would we do this? Why would we use this bad mix-up? Well, first off, a much better tick throw is this. That's much faster, and I can safely go into something else. And I'm a lot further away now, so it's not punishable a lot of the time. All of that stuff is nice, right? Like, it gives me an extra place. So not only do I have to throw here, by opening up the second place, I can throw there. And if they guess at any of those points incorrectly, they get caught. So if I do something like 2p delay, 6p delay this, there's several places that I could have thrown that they also have to start taking a guess on. And there's just more places that they can mess up on defense. And it will start to open up a lot more players with simpler stuff. There is basically nowhere that you are at this-ish range that you can't just run through them. Like, that is if you're here and you're even-ish, right? You're not, like, super punishable like this kind of move. Like, if you do, like, this, players will punish that. At higher levels, players will just punish it, and they'll be able to react to it. But that right there, all of a sudden they have to deal with it, so they're not going to try and punish it, and then you start getting in these other options, and then you can start mixing in these like super staggered options, and then when you start doing that, you start getting more and more information, and it lets your offense be a lot more liberated from just being, you do the best tick throw that your character has. Because a lot of you know that, like, the plus frames give you all kinds of extra turns you can take. The ability to jail is really strong. The ability to cover multiple options is really strong. Like, this option right here, I can have him doing all three of these options on random and never have any fear that any of them are going to get out of this, right? None of them get out of that. It has multiple option coverage, so it's a much stronger place to mix up than this, which is going to work on a few of them. But if they backdash, if they backdash, I'm dead. So obviously, stuff like that skews how a mix-up works and where there are better points to go for it and better points to try and condition and win the mix-up there. But you have a lot more ability to vary where your mix-up can be in your strings, and it will start to become freeing. And once you start using lots of places of mix-ups, it becomes impossible to track your patterns. Like, it's so hard to track 18 different block strings that have different throw points in them for a player to guess where in the pattern is. If you're trying to guess which spot of 5 that they put, the advantage becomes so heavily skewed to offense. This is why characters like Giovanna are good, why their strike throw game is good, is they can take several guesses over their string, and all of them are stuff you have to deal with. And that's partly because all the way out of this range, her dash throw will hit you, right? Like, you can't react to it at this range, not reliably anyway. And so because of that, it just, like, there's so many other ways you can do it. Now, similarly, if you're, like, let's use Giovanna, actually, let's switch over to Giovanna as my example, because she's kind of the beginner-friendly character. If I switch over to Giovanna, a lot of Giovannas will do their reset pressure at the same point every time. And then all I have to do is react to it when they do that, when they run out of options. Right? They'll do like close slash far slash 2H, and then they'll do the wolf drive. And that's all well and good. That's a fine place to do it. But, like, doing it there resets the situation. So it's a lot better because, so here, yeah, it loses to button, but they're not going to press button because close slash H or close slash 2S or close slash 5P or whatever is opening them up. Because, like, this is plus. You know, all of that stuff is plus. She has several places to guess. And after they stop pressing buttons here, well, guess what? If they stop pressing buttons there because they're afraid, and the bot is never going to stop pressing buttons because he's a computer, if they stop pressing buttons here, then, you know, they're not reacting to that. So, yeah, that's all of that stuff, it gives you so much more variability in where it is. It becomes so much harder to react to things that are reactable because you don't know when it's going to come. So you have to be, your anticipation gets spread thinner and thinner and thinner until your mental stack cracks. And so it helps a lot to use bad mix-ups and to use other places that's like, hey, this is already my turn. Why would I ever do this? Well, because it keeps them thinking. It makes them say, oh, I now have to start reacting to that at that spot too, and then they're not thinking about that. And then they're not thinking about that. And then they're not thinking about that. Right? All of those different things, and then they're not thinking about, like, the cross-up, or the delay in front, or whatever option situation you're thinking about. And so all of that stuff matters a lot. And you'll see players who are very good players land the dumbest mix-ups sometimes, because, particularly against lower-level players, because they, like, Tuatara does stupid mix-ups sometimes. And he's the best Kai player in the world right now. And he does mix-ups that are dumb. Right? Sometimes they're just outright bad. But the thing is that, just like I was talking in this video, they become good because they make them think about something else. Even if they don't work, then they make them think, and then their mental stack gets spread a little bit thinner. And that's the real goal. So I hope this helps. I hope this helps you become a little more flexible in your strings. That's about it.